You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for the series premiere of Wilfred. Tonight's host is Greg Goodness. Joining Greg will be AFTERBUZZ co-hosts Jack Waz, John Barrett, and Siobhan Hughes. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Wilfred news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, Greg Goodness.
Let's talk about just how many things the disembodied voice got wrong.
God damn it, disembodied voice.
It's not the premiere of Wilfred. This is actually the second episode of Wilfred. Trust.
Idiot.
And Jack will not be joining us tonight, unfortunately.
He is also an idiot.
He is an idiot, but he's an idiot with premiere tickets, I guess. He's checking out
Transformers it was
3.
the cast and crew only screening of Transformers 3.
Right, so same
Which
difference.
Jack Waz directed.
Yeah. Jack Waz, this is an AfterBuzz exclusive, is Michael Bay.
Yeah.
By day,
AFTERBUZZ TV exclusive.
Thank you for hopping on that so quickly. Yes, by day, mild-mannered, filthy Jack Waz. By night,
hardly mild.
Slightly less mild-mannered and more inclined to explosions.
Yeah.
Michael Bay
loves his explosions and yelling at what's her face, Megan Fox.
But we're not here to talk about Transformers or Michael Bay, and thank God for that. We're here to talk about Wilfred.
Yay!
Hooray, Wilfred. First thing that I noticed right off the bat, they're doing quotes now. I mean, not that they weren't doing it last week, but I thought that was like a one-time thing. But I guess they're going to start off every episode with a little quote now.
Yep.
And then fade away to the word that becomes the episode's title.
Fascinating.
Just something I wasn't expecting. You don't need to sound so hostile about it.
I'm very hostile about it. I actually am only not fighting you because I'm afraid it would cost AfterBuzz money.
Oh, pipe down. Pipe down.
Siobhan's going to have to, like, keep us apart. Like,
Crawl
break it
this table
up!
right now.
They're going to run out of quotes. There are only so many quotes in the
yeah,
world,
there's only
right?
like 4.
To be or not to be. That'll be the episode. That'll be like B. Where did Wilfred get an axe?
Yeah, I was gonna. I mean, my understanding in my head, what's really happening, or what's like happening in not dog and guy and dog costume form of Wilfred, is that he just dug under the fence.
But later, the neighbor says, "I'll fix the fence." So Wilfred did something.
That's
Probably
true.
Just bashed his head through it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, put enough force into it.
Mm.
And still having a little bit of trouble figuring out the mechanics of what Wilfred actually is and isn't doing. Guessing he's not actually working a Polaroid camera.
No, that's probably not true.
Demonstrated on the beach.
Dang, he's a pervert too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a
bit of
a dog,
if you will.
Ayo.
We're writers. No, not really. This episode jumped right into the butt stuff, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Elijah Wood, I would have never suspected.
Yeah.
He seems so like quiet and innocent. I guess that's part
well,
of what
that's sort of the
plays to
joke
it.
they're making, or not a joke, I guess. Is that he's quiet and innocent and doesn't like fingers in his butt.
Yeah.
I mean, not where I thought the series was going to go. I thought, like,
Yeah.
you know, this is a classy series. Besides Wilfred, we're going to stay away from butt stuff. But no.
It's super blue for that. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I can't say I minded. It was a
Yeah,
funny
I
bit.
laughed.
It was
That
a
was
really funny
the
bit.
line deeper than Paula's finger can go is pretty.
Deeper than
dang
Paula's finger
funny.
could ever reach.
That's what it
But is
was.
that a good reason to break up with a girlfriend?
I'm voting no.
No, you. It just means you have a conversation about butt stuff.
Limits, limitations, and rules.
Although, to be fair, that is something that you should probably bring up just before you
Jumping in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely don't go unannounced into a dude's butt.
Yeah. Wilfred, teaching America valuable lessons.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely blue and much more blue than I expected. But then again, it's FX, so they can get away with that kind of stuff. And it made for great callbacks through the rest of the episode.
Yeah, there were some really good finger butt callbacks.
Yeah.
But what finger butt callback isn't gonna be good?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, just that story alone is enough to make you chuckle. And no matter how you phrase it, no matter how you slice it or dice it,
Right.
it's just like it's funny. It's funny.
It is. It's very funny.
Especially when you have a dog giving them advice on.
What does Wilfred know about butt stuff?
Well, I think
could he-
I was having that question watching this, and then I was like, wait, dogs like know each other by smells produced by their butt glands.
Okay. As demonstrated by that conversation they had at the very
Yeah.
end.
Exactly.
So it all ties together. If any show should be having a discussion about butt stuff,
Right.
it's
It should be the dog show. I know I wasn't here for last week's, and I didn't get a chance to see the premiere. I have to say, these shots are beautifully composed.
I know. It's like it's a really good-looking show.
Yeah. Like significantly better composed than any show I can think of on TV. Maybe Louis has some really good cinematography sometimes, but this was like the them at the beach with the sign between them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was tearing up a little bit.
Very well balanced. I don't know, Sean. Can you think of anything that comes close in terms of cinematography, at least for a comedy?
Not anything in my mind. It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I almost wish it was longer. because of
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work going into this, short little 30-minute comedy. Well, 22 minutes.
Right. Leave them wanting more, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being the logic behind it. I don't know. It's funny. It's nice to see that not everyone has gone crazy for. No offense, I know John is a huge fan of Parks and Rec, but that whole like faux documentary shooting from the hip style. I know that's like coming into fashion because it's cheap and easy, but nice to see something real purty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and even the single cam shows that aren't that style, they never look this good. Like even like 30 Rock was the only thing that comes to mind actually.
I wonder how long it takes for them to shoot one episode
Of
of this.
of this. Yeah, of Wilfred.
I mean, if it's that it's that well, not to totally nerd out, but if it's that well composed and they go into that, they seem to be doing a lot of coverage of each shot.
Yeah.
They probably spend significantly more time than the average TV show. An average TV show, I believe, shoots like 5 pages a day or something like that. This is not doing that. I can't imagine they're doing that for this show.
And they're also getting a lot of LA landmarks in there.
Yeah.
Venice Beach.
They
Yeah.
love Venice, huh?
Yeah.
They were at Venice last time, right?
Yeah.
They popped by.
They went to the cafe and the waitress
Yeah,
with the
yeah, it
boobs
was
and
right out front. I'm trying to figure out what that cafe was, if it was an actual place or if it's something they just like set up.
They probably used an actual place because there's so many of them.
Yeah. Man, I gotta spend more time in Venice. Speaking of which, absolutely loved that montage.
That was a good
I haven't
montage.
laughed that hard at a montage in a long time.
That was
Them
great.
just chilling out in Venice.
Pelican.
That dog smokes so much weed. I really like. That's one of the ones where that's one of the things that came up in this episode where I had a lot of. That was the one time where my questions couldn't be answered about the dog as a guy in dog costume versus dog thing, because I don't know how a dog smokes weed. I mean,
Elijah Wood seems to be an enabler.
Yeah,
so.
but
But who built the bong?
But what I'm saying is like I know my friends and I used to get our friends' dogs drunk, by pouring beer in their dog, in their dog dishes or whatever.
You're a terrible person.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
I defy listeners to anyone who went to high school knows someone who did that.
Yeah.
So,
but they also know someone who got their dog high.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Did you say you poured alcohol? You gave alcohol to your dog?
I didn't give alcohol to my dog, but we would give it to my friends' dogs.
Like the pot thing, I can understand. I can.
It's like plausible. It's like, oh man, let's get the dog
Yeah.
high, and then you like blow it. Not that I would know
But, like,
anything
liquor?
about that, but yeah, it
don't know,
seems
I feel like
hard
this-
to justify.
That's taking a step
whatever.
along. Sarah McLaughlin would not be happy with you.
Cue the
Well,
commercial.
can we not talk about that? Can we never talk about that? I can't hear that song without sobbing.
Dude,
The little
if-
cat with the messed up eye,
Oh, I want to adopt that kitty. That worked.
That's
He would
the
spend
point,
$1.
yeah.
that kills me every time.
Yes.
I will walk out if you play any more of this.
AfterBuzz listeners, what we're trying to say is that there are sober
You can't go
animals
over
out
15
there.
seconds, right? You're in trouble if you go over 15 seconds.
Sober animals that need your help.
And please go to Lilith Fair. Please.
Also,
What if we played in intervals? I don't think that.
I don't know. I think my favorite single image in this whole show, in terms of funniness, is Wilfred dropping, like Wilfred as a guy in a dog suit, dropping a dead pelican in front of that girl. Okay, cut the song off, please. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, dropping the pelican. This was a pelican. This was a pelican.
There's blood everywhere.
Oh my god.
And you have that like flash in your mind's eye of like what it would look like an actual dog just like coming up and dropping it next to this little baby or whatever it was, little kid.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was
So funny.
It was good. They're finding, for me at least, it's a very sort of difficult edge to walk, this dog versus human relationship, but it's moments like that so far have kept it on balance for me, where it's like, okay, I could see a dog like frolicking around the ocean like crazy, and the scene where he's in the vet and like freaking out
And rallying all the other dogs.
Yeah.
He's
That was. I really hope that's what dogs are actually saying to other dogs when they like start barking really loud in the vet. Like, I really hope they're expressing their views that this is some sort of conspiracy theory.
Don't let them take my balls.
That it was the funniest.
and also a valid concern. Oh, and the little poster, I'm just seeing it now up on the screen, dogs are people too, is a great little
Get it?
little wink to the audience.
That dog's a person.
Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall there. Yeah. Nice.
Excuse me if you heard that,
Shame.
listeners.
That was
Shame,
sincerely
John.
the sexiest thing I'd ever heard.
Right?
Speaking of sexy, what's Wilfred's fascination with Matt Damon? Which I think was introduced in the last episode.
Yeah.
But
way to carry that over. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I can see where the guy's coming from. I've gone on record that being like, okay, I'm not a gay man, but if I was,
Matt Damon would be.
Damon. Yeah.
right.
Or
can
is that what
resist?
you're saying, or is what you're saying that he's the top of your "I'm not gay but" list?
I'm not sure I understand the difference.
What I'm saying is you said if you were gay you'd go for Matt Damon. I'm saying I think what you mean is I'd be gay for Matt Damon given the chance.
Let's leave it at this.
semantics.
Let's leave it at this. I can see where he's coming from when he says that there's something glorious about those 30-foot tall dimples on the screen.
So, ladies
And
and
also,
gentlemen,
I really love Good Will Hunting. So there.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we now know #1 on Greg Goodness's "I'm Not Gay But" list,
I mean, if Matt Damon is listening, take it.
which
take it
I'm
as you will.
sure he is.
Um.
This is a complete tangent, but it reminds me of my
Oh, what a shocker!
favorite line. My favorite line in 30 Rock, which is Liz Lemon, after having broken up with Carol, getting a speech from Invictus by, Jack Donaghy gives her a speech from Invictus, and she's like, "Oh, that was in Invictus. Who's the white guy in that?"
The joke being, we just saw the white guy in
He's
that.
Carol.
We learn a little bit about Wilfred's past, and Wilfred's past is always suspect, as we learned from the first episode with the tennis ball story. But Wilfred, as a litter of puppies who was dropped into what body of water?
The Chesapeake Bay.
The Chesapeake Bay, and a burlap sack to be the only one to survive. No wonder Wilfred is a little messed up, I'd say.
Yeah.
That would be trying to be killed as a youth. That'll do it for you.
Are they wanting to go revisit that thrill? Quote,
Yeah.
thrill?
Yeah.
Wilfred's,
That'll F you up, man.
Wilfred's kind of creepy like that.
Yeah.
I don't. It's such a hard line to walk. Like, how dark do you make Wilfred's past? Because you can make it so dark and so creepy.
But-
in the arms
Wilfred is that dog. Wilfred was like in those commercials. Oh, by the way, I think we just thought of a great FX promo
Yeah.
for Wilfred.
Oh my god.
Have
Yeah.
Sarah Bluff do a little
FX,
cameo.
FX, call us
Yeah.
now.
Just like sad little kittens and puppies, and all
And
of a
then
sudden
Wilfred.
Wilfred just smoking a big ol' spliff.
He just takes a blunt to the face. And it cuts to like a real close shot of his bloodshot eyes.
Let's see here. What else we got?
They so rarely agree was such a funny line to me. When he's talking about the two morning, like, walking out now. Bye.
We broke it up so we don't have to pay for it. That's the logic, right?
Yes.
Well, technically, this is the commercial playing right now, so.
Okay.
Oh, it's public domain.
I mean, probably not.
Okay.
It just means that there are more people to sue us, because now it's not just Lilith Fair, whoever's saying this, involved. It's also the actual commercial.
Beaten and neglected,
There we
and
go.
they're crying out for help.
This isn't nearly as funny as I thought it would be.
But we need to have Wilfred with the bloodshot eyes.
The limitations of radio. But we'll be able to do it next week, because we're going live to video. So everyone, check that out. You'll get to see.
You get to see our beautiful, 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 beautiful faces.
Yes. And also, we totally won't be able to do all the things we're talking about. But you'll still get to yes.
No, we're going to cut that commercial tonight. Why were they watching the Brewers? I'm sorry. That just popped into my head.
I don't know. I don't do
Oh, when
sports.
Jenna came over
Yeah.
with her Philly cheesesteaks and possibly
they had-
an appendage between her legs.
They had Philly cheesesteaks, okay, which is a Philadelphia thing, for those of you who don't know what Philly means. And they live in L.A., and they're watching the Brewers, who are the baseball team from Milwaukee. This doesn't make sense.
I mean, it was that part of the joke.
I don't
that
know.
He said, I don't know sports, so he said something wrong about some guy's name. So maybe he's like, oh, go Brewers, and he has no idea what he's talking about.
I just, it seems like they wouldn't be in this market unless they were playing the Dodgers, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, it could. Well, maybe she has like sports package or something.
Were they at her house? I thought they were at his
Well,
house.
maybe he does. Okay, you get to nitpick everything.
Yes, I am. That's my job.
Jerk.
Gee, I'm sorry.
So can we talk about what Wilfred here says while going into anesthesia?
Oh,
Went to
yeah.
the vet's office.
Where he,
Jenna has a dick.
Jenna has a dick.
He did it on purpose, right?
Yeah, I mean, it establishes right at the very end that I lied, did I?
Yeah.
Whatever. So, if not saying it on purpose right then and there, he definitely used it to his advantage coming out of it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, and I've said this before, and I always sound like a total jerk when I do, but I did not buy that plot point. Like, I saw it coming from a mile. I was like, oh, okay, she doesn't really have it's Wilfred messing, whatever. I enjoyed the journey. It was still fun.
Yeah, but it was a really it's a easy. I don't know. It's just too easy of an answer.
Right.
Yeah, it's like too easy of a thing to say. That's a secret about a girl.
And that was actually one of the things that, like, pretty much right after he said, I was like, okay, so they need to justify it. She has a dick boyfriend,
right?
Something, but whatever.
Played by Chris Klein. Was it that his name?
I don't know. Who was that?
I think it was Chris Klein.
He's one of the guys from American Pie.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
Was that... Wait, so which guy was it?
The
jock?
The jock guy who was in the choir.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he looks good.
I haven't seen him since the United States of Leland, which was an obscure movie.
I love that movie.
So good.
Ryan Reynolds?
Right? Yeah. Wait, no.
No,
Not Ryan Reynolds. It's some other no name, but yeah.
Oh, I think we're okay.
What are you
Different
doing?
movies.
I don't know. I don't really know.
But yeah, I completely missed that. He didn't really seem like that much of a dick.
I'm sure we're gonna get plenty of opportunities to see him as a dick in the coming episodes.
I mean, asking for shampoo and making a bad joke about being tired from flying and from whatever, isn't that?
Yeah, but like, F that guy.
Yeah, he's against our protagonist, and therefore we're against him. Yada yada.
Yup. Oh, we still have to bring up two things. One, Carne Diem, which is amazing, and two, I just wanted to just bring up this phrase because it's one of my favorite phrases I've ever heard on TV. Salty brine of death.
Oh, it is an impressive phrase.
Right.
That is in reference to the body of water. Which was it?
Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
So drowning the Chesapeake Bay, the salty brine of death. Yeah.
That's exactly what it
that.
is. I mean, it's a salty brine of death.
Very dark, but so was the show.
Yeah. The other quote I really liked was, "Everything has to do with everything."
I was a little confused by that. I know it made multiple appearances throughout the episode.
Yeah.
But Siobhan, what were your thoughts?
It's about how we're
I actually can't even remember when that was said.
It's
it
right
was
after
introduced at the very beginning, like right after the Pinky story, where he's like, "Doesn't have anything to do with everything. Has to do with everything."
Right.
And then it repeated itself like 2 or 3 times throughout the episode.
There's also this racist moment.
Oh God!
When the Indian vet comes in, and when I just say, I need
a doctor, not an IT,
not tech support. Yeah, that was like, that
was kind of a low blow for the writers. Of
I mean,
Wilfred.
I could like see it, I guess, but pretty much anything along the whole like, oh, Indian people do tech support lines was absolutely ruined for me by Outsourced.
Yeah,
that NBC comedy, which is by the grace of God.
I wouldn't even consider that a comedy.
Yeah, we should probably.
It was a parade of grotesques. It was a parade of grotesques.
I don't think anyone did a show
to do
on
that.
that. But I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't badmouth it so much. We're both trying to find employment in the industry. It's like, I worked on Outsourced. I was gonna. There's some guy out there listening right now.
In here, Jesse.
We got some fun stuff.
I can hear
in
some
the booth.
vague sounds coming from the booth.
Yep.
But
we just keep replaying the dog commercial.
Oh God! How are you smiling?
I'm kind of like Wilford in that sense.
A deeply, deeply disturbed, horrible person.
It's being stuck in this booth for hours and hours.
Did we bring up him saying, "I can't put my finger in it"?
Yeah, we did. Well, not directly, but yeah, we talked about the
Just continuations of the butt stuff story. Yeah, this show is really good with callbacks, huh? And like tying it back to even, I know, John, you said you didn't have a chance to catch up on the premiere yet, but even calling back Matt Damon and that sort of stuff, it's fun to see. If you rely on it too heavily, it gets into weird territory.
Right.
Even as an actor, that's a really fun thing to play around with your scene partner. Just living in those moments where you get to bond over this joke that you had maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's good.
Like keeping sort of, okay, you know this about your character.
Yeah.
So it's
kind of like when you have an inside joke with your friend,
Yeah.
like over some beers. It's just, that's all. It's like an actor's inside joke that you get to share with the audience.
Yeah. The
And
audience
then you drink
gets in
beer.
on it.
Yeah.
Which is the best part of anything ever. To return to Carne Diem, I can see that on, you know, those like Southpaw T-shirts where it has like the black and white lab or whatever. It's like, I'm the big dog. Have you guys ever seen
big dog
this?
T-shirts. Yeah.
It's always like there's a black and white lab or husky or something.
I think it's
don't
a
know.
Saint Bernard.
Yeah, probably. But it's always like, oh, big dog, take the lead. It's all these like really manly, you know, whatever sayings. And I can see that on a T-shirt. Carne Diem.
Would you buy that T-shirt?
If it was an actual Wilfred T-shirt, I'd buy it. If it was one of those stupid dog other ones, I probably
Yet
wouldn't.
another idea we've just given FX to promote
Come on,
their show.
FX.
Man, we are just like their entire marketing department right now.
I expect a check in the mail in the next couple of days, FX.
My God, if I actually see that T-shirt, oof, there's
got
gonna
proof.
be hell to pay.
This show is proof.
Yeah, this is on the internet forever.
Then again, they'll just be like, we made the show. I'm pretty sure we can do whatever we want. You were saying Siobhan, you were saying that we started off with this weird, like, oh, she has a dick, and falls over.
Yeah.
That led to what is the only thing I can watch on TV that literally makes me squirm in my seat and be like really uncomfortable with what I'm watching, which is seeing a character self-destruct.
Oh, yes.
Like how that was just brutal. Like kind of pushing it, to be honest with you, but it was brutal watching Elijah Wood be like, oh, so you have to be a boy or a girl, right?
And she's totally freaked out by this, as she should be.
Yeah.
My only note for that whole scene was, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's just so painful to watch.
It's at that point. It's like that point where, I don't know about you, but like when I'm watching something, I just have to turn the channel. I can't. I can't take it.
This would be the point where I would like pause it and go and make myself a snack or something to give myself a break. It was only because you guys were in the room and I had to act like a man.
And you didn't cry?
Yeah,
you
I
like bit your lip?
break down and completely lose my mind.
I'm going to be honest with you. I quietly cried to myself.
And I rocked back and forth in the fetal position, hoping it would go away.
It was not a pleasant moment for either of us. So I guess any of us, any.
Yeah.
Though I guess that's the point of what they were aiming to do, probably. I'm guessing. Yes.
And
no?
then he listened to her pee.
He does that.
God.
Weirdos who get off on that.
Well, can you hear how pee sounds differently from standing up and squatting?
I'm not a person who listens to people peeing a lot.
Okay.
I haven't really picked up the subtleties.
Yeah.
Personally.
Usually women are in a whole nother area when they're doing that. I wouldn't have any basis for comparison.
But apparently he felt he did, so that's why he was listening.
Right. They didn't
He's
have
like,
that.
with all the women I listen to pee, you sound like you're peeing differently.
Which was a good chance to get out of there. I'm surprised she just accepted it as like, oh, I'm an awkward guy. As easily as
I'm
she did.
awkward. I'm going to listen to you peeing.
Yeah. Oh, you. You and your weird, quirky ways.
And that is awkward.
Yeah.
Because it is,
Right.
but like more than that.
But did you see when he was telling her his big secret about saying he's like, oh, I'm awkward?
Mm-hmm.
That whole speech made me want to stab someone.
But it was sweet. Come on, no.
I hate the word awkward. I'm going to be real. That I don't think that that's the right word for that.
Right.
Like if there's more to it than that, and I don't like when awkward is sort of used as a substitute for something deeper.
Right. So, like, what word would you use for that scene?
It's more than a word, but I don't know. I could sit here for a while and try and mess around with what I'm trying to say and maybe finally get somewhere within close to getting it right, but I wouldn't.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm not a writer for the show.
But Wilford was standing there, and he had a little smile on his face that he had, had this little breakthrough of being
Well, he was
honest.
also being a prick the whole
That's
time.
true. I want him to be good. I think I really want him to be a good guy.
Both antagonist and well, what was the line that was in the article last week? It was he is both the savior and the demon or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something to the duality of dog, as it were.
We just don't know what's quite going on there. I don't think we're ever really going to find that out. I think that's one of the reasons the show's going to work. We're going to keep tuning in to see what ways Wilfred's going to try to mess up his life or put his life together. I don't know.
Speaking of messing up his life, they touched on it really briefly in this episode, but they didn't deal a lot with it. And John, you still have no idea what we're talking about. But when they broke into the pot dealer's house and Wilfred left his wallet behind...
Yep.
They didn't touch that at all this episode.
Well, they did. They remember on the beach when he got the ticket, he said, "I don't have my ID."
Yeah, I don't have my ID, but like, there's no repercussions.
I feel like they're going to bring it back. They're going to talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean they'll have to.
Yeah.
But it was just, for me, it was strange that they introduced that in the pilot and then it's just they completely veer away. It was a great episode. I had a great time watching it. It was funny. Lots of butt jokes and this salty brine of death, to speak of. But
also, another great line at the very tail end of it. What does he see in Ben Affleck?
To which I answer, Ben Affleck can direct a good movie.
Boy,
if anyone's ever seen Gone Baby Gone. It's a great movie. So, kudos, Ben Affleck. You're no Matt Damon, in my book, on my list, whatever that may mean.
I'm not gay but list.
But, yeah.
Woo.
So, I think that, did anyone else have anything written down?
No.
Notes
I think we
to
pretty much
speak
covered
of?
everything.
I think we covered everything. Do you guys want to bust over into our first commercial break?
Absolutely.
Boom.
Let's do it.
Want to find out what the AFTERBUZZ is about?
Jenna is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean. You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AFTERBUZZ TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AFTERBUZZ on.
All right, so that brings us into news and gossip / special segment for this week. And what we're going to be talking about is Wilfred, as I read on Deadline Hollywood, www.deadline.com. I'm going to read a quote here. FX's new comedy series Wilfred got off to a great start last night. At 10 p.m., the comedy starring Elijah Wood drew 2.6 million total viewers to become the network's most watched comedy series premiere ever.
Wow.
Isn't that like half of Jersey Shore numbers? Like, that's solid.
Yeah,
as hell.
well, for FX, it's one of the best shows they've ever premiered, best comedy they've ever premiered.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I'd be curious to see what the numbers come in for this week, because they promoted the bejesus out of this show.
Right.
I mean, it was, I can only speak to my television viewing experience. But, I mean, it was everywhere. It was not just FX that this was getting plugged.
Yeah.
This was everywhere around. It was like Comedy Central. They had a few plugs. So I'm not surprised that it drew that sort of number. Well, actually, I'm not surprised that it did well.
Okay.
I'm surprised that it did that well.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm also surprised. I didn't realize. I mean, I feel like comedies, or at least cable comedies, tend to hover in that like 1 million zone, and
Yeah, that's where Archer is at.
Yeah.
For those of you who tuned to our Archer podcast way back when.
back in the day. But I mean, that's impressive as heck. I think that's like almost the kind of numbers that Parks and Rec pulled.
Is it?
Yeah, Parks and Rec doesn't pull great numbers on.
It's hard to for them to maintain it now, right? What do you think?
Well, for Wilfred.
I mean,
definitely.
well, just because it's so high. I mean, because FX kind of has a trend of having these
really good premieres
and
yeah.
then nothing.
Although
after.
Archer was consistently picking up steam in the second season, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's a general thing with any show. And again, we'll have to wait to see what the numbers come in for this week.
Yeah.
But that's it always happens is there's a premiere, and usually if it's been a heavily promoted show, there's a higher premiere than what returns the next week. So what the real question will be then is just how big that drop off is. And based on the reviews I've been reading so far, I know there's been a lot of positive press out there, but I've seen a lot of mixed reviews as well. I don't know. Have you guys found anything in regards to that?
I did read something. I forget where, but they're just saying that it's too dark and that it's not going to reach a wide audience to stay on the air. I mean, they didn't like say anything incredibly bad about the show.
Yeah, it's funny what you were saying about how it's sort of too dark to find a wide audience.
Right.
I'm looking at a review in the New York Times, and not to poo-poo the show, because obviously I love it, and I
never poo-poo the show.
I think that the New York Times is crazy for this,
and it's a liberal rag.
Yes, and it's a shameful sham of a publication. Take that, liberal
Pinkos.
media. Yeah.
I poo-poo you.
Yes. Here's what they had to say about it, specifically Mike Hale, who I don't very much trust now anymore. Some shows aspire to cult status. This one goes straight there, practically bypassing the need to be broadcast at all. Which is, wow. Right?
mean.
And that's the second sentence in the review. So obviously not everyone is as big of a fan of Wilfred as we are. But I don't think that necessarily means that it's like a bad thing or that we're going to see like huge drop-off numbers. I think that at least from what I've been hearing, people who actually watch the show as not like a critical review, piece, and people are enjoying it. It's funny. And definitely it's been holding up. The issues that I had last week where it's, okay, how long can they run with this dog premise? It seems like they're holding on to it well. It's not, they're finding new ways to sort of incorporate that, oh, he's a dog, but he's also a guy thing. And keep it fresh and funny. Granted, it's only episode 2, so.
Word up.
But, yeah. And so, any thoughts on that?
Well, there was that article in the Boston Herald, was it?
Yeah.
Where Elijah Wood said that that Wilfred might not be for everyone. He said he's never worked on something that is so difficult to define and yet so strange and unique. And I feel that nowadays, TV viewers are looking for something different and unique and not mainstream, because there's just a lot of like crap being thrown out there nowadays. And I feel like this is really smart. Very different, as we said before. I think it's got some really good things going on in there.
One of the other reviews that I read, a more positive one, and I can't for the life of me remember, it had a cringeworthy compliment, which was, "This show has legs, 4 of them."
Oh!
Yeah. So,
that guy should just get shot in the head for that line.
But he said something nice about the show, so we'll let him slide on that. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Is that it's not for everyone. It's a little weird. It's a little dark. But if you take a risk, sometimes it pays off. And I think that this is definitely a show that's already sort of found an audience, as demonstrated by 2.4 million people tuning in. And I think we're going to see more of Wilfred in the near future. So good for FX, I say. Kudos.
Keep making them comedies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, FX been doing real good with comedies.
Real good.
Also, side note for those of you who stick around to watch Louie afterwards, Louie also got a huge boost as a result of airing after Wilfred. It's up like 41% from last season.
Bong.
Just a side note.
Cheapest show on TV, too.
Louie, yeah. One of them, I'm sure.
It's really high up there anyway, in terms of cheapness.
Right.
But anyway,
Do we have anything? Siobhan, you have that article in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, he also goes on, Elijah Wood also goes on to say, I don't think I've ever been more curious to see how people respond to something that I've worked on than this. It's so completely different from anything else on television.
Well, he's getting reactions
from
all over the spectrum.
And we've never really seen him do comedy before. I mean, I know this is kind of dark and it's not slapstick, but can anyone remember anything where
he was in
funny?
that movie, wasn't Everything is Illuminated, the dark?
That was super dark. Very good, but super sad and dark.
Okay, I thought there was like some sort of comedic aspect to it. I
mean,
never saw it.
Yeah. It wasn't, I don't know. I think he's holding his own, and especially for, a movie vet to be coming out to TV.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're as cynical as I am, Lord of the Rings was pretty funny. But other than
Return
that,
of the King, woo, laugh fest that was.
Lulz. All right, I think that about wraps it up for special segment. We'll have to see what the ratings pull in this time, and we'll come back to it. But I think it's time to move on to.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so we've seen that Wilfred's back. The secret isn't going anywhere anytime soon, that he still sees this dog as a dude, but he's not telling anyone. So what can we expect in the weeks to come?
More butt stuff.
I hope so.
Probably a few more butt sniffing jokes, I'm willing to bet. I'm going to venture and say that we're going to have to do something with that wallet and the pot dealer really soon. We didn't really do anything with it this time, but that can't go on for too much longer.
Mm-hmm. We want Ethan Suplee to come back, too.
Yeah, I do enjoy seeing him and seeing him getting work. Though, funny to see him as like a gruff biker guy after seeing him in My Name is Earl, which he very much wasn't. John, again, you have no idea what we're talking about. But catch up, for God's sakes, man.
I'm sorry. I'm working.
Well, I will be too, eventually. Probably. Soon. I just lay around all day. Anything else?
More butt stuff.
Stop. You already said it. We get it.
Very good, team.
There we go. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been AfterBuzz for Wilfred, and we've been talking about some butt stuff. We've been talking about some dogs.
Butt stuff.
It's been a good week, so hopefully we'll see you next time around.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.